We certainly had nice consumer confidence increase during the month of May. Every group is up, whether it's man, woman, young, old, high income, low income. Everybody is up. Even Republicans are up in New York, which is kind of interesting. We're up roughly in a range of about 6 points. I think a couple of things happened, and one is kind of strange. We really had this big increase, not for good news, but for the lack of bad news. For instance, for months now, consumers have been being hit with unemployment figures, the stock market dropping, house prices dropping, scandals. It was all bad news. And now all of a sudden, we're not getting all that bad news. And in fact, there was a little bit of good news. The stock market has come up a little bit. Housing prices seem to have stabilized. The unemployment numbers aren't so bad. So those two together gave us a nice increase in consumer confidence for May. It's going to take a while for this increase in consumer confidence to translate into buying plans. Right now, the consumer is still afraid, okay? They were afraid of losing their job, they've lost the value in their home, they lost the value in their retirement plan. So even though consumer confidence is up, and remember, it's a leading indicator, so even though it's up, it hasn't translated into buying plans yet. So plans for cars and computers and furniture and home improvement and home buying, they stayed relatively flat. So I think it's going to take a while before this translates into new buying plans. The increase in price in gas was amazing to me. We're up about 50 cents, and that immediately translated into concern for the consumer. So gas price changes affect the consumer immediately in what we call the New York minute. It was interesting. Johnny Carson, I think, characterized the New York minute as the time between when the light turns green till the guy behind you honks his horn. So it has translated quickly. If we go back to April, 4 out of 10 New Yorkers were concerned about gas prices. That's back up to 46% now. So that has translated very, very quickly. Yeah, what we see happen is when we're getting down near record lows, all the groups bunched up, whether it's a man or woman, Democrat, Republican, high income, low income, young or old, they tend to bunch up at the bottom. Now that we're moving up, some spread has developed. We got about an 8-point spread between the top, and the top are basically the high income people and New York City. New York City confidence has generally been higher than upstate. On the other side of the coin, the low end of the barrel are clearly the upstate people and the low income people. So we are now getting somewhat of a spread as consumer confidence moves up. Well, that's interesting. If we look at the trend here in consumer confidence, and if we go back to last fall, where we hit record lows in October, we're up about 16 points from them. So that's really good news. On the other side of the coin, I'm not willing to say this is a real trend. I think things are too fragile right now. I think there are two big factors out there that could have a big effect. One is energy prices. I just mentioned that the price of gas has a direct effect on consumer confidence, and it clearly does. So if we see gas prices get back up to $4 again, you're going to see consumer confidence go down. The other one is the stock market. People are starting to see a little bit increase in their 401ks. If that increase in the stock market continues, we could see things go up. So I think right now it's very fragile depending on energy prices, depending on the stock market. If those two move in a favorable direction, in other words, stock market up, energy prices down, you'll see consumer confidence go up. If you see it in the reverse direction, now you're going to see consumer confidence go down again.